Now we're heading to Trim for our first guest today, and she is Garda Edel Dugdale, who's based at Trim Garda Station. Hello, Edel.
Hi, how are you?
I'm really good. Thanks for joining me on the show. What a story this is. Take us back 2 days before Christmas. Tell our listeners how this drama unfolded, please.
Yeah, so there was myself and my colleague, Grace Murray. So we were in the public office in Trim, and I was trying to get my files done before the side of Christmas, and I was chatting to Grace at the photocopier. And in our public office, where in the top right-hand corner, if you can just imagine, we have a monitor which has CCTV in it, so it allows us to see who's outside in the public office waiting to be served. So I heard the door opening, and this lady and a young child about the age of 6 walked in the door, and the lady was carrying something in her arms. And I just remember turning around to Grace and saying, "There's something wrong. She has a baby. There's something wrong with that baby. There's something wrong with that baby." So ran out around the corner and out into the foyer of the public office, and I'll never forget it. There was a lady there. She was so distraught, and she was a foreign national lady, and she had good enough English, but she just kept saying, "My baby's lips are blue. My baby's not breathing. My baby's lips are blue." So I just grabbed the baby off her as quick as I could, ran back inside. Grace rang the 999 for the emergency services. And I just started this baby was only 3 months old. She was so tiny to look at, like really tiny. She'd be lost in your arms. I just remember just having to push down on her chest because she just wasn't responding to me. And you just panic because this is one of those situations where you're trained for down in Templemore all your life, and you just think that you're lucky to think that you're never going to need it. And I'm 13 years in the job, and I've never had to use it. But at this stage, I was like, right, okay. And I think all the training that you do just kicks in. And I just knew that I had to get this baby back. So, you're just rubbing at the chest, but you're so conscious and so nervous to damage the baby because her bones aren't even formed yet. She's so fragile, this little dot. So with that then, the eyes just flickered open for a split second. And I knew I had her then at that stage. So, she was so cold to touch, but that was from the ma'am after running from her house up to where the Garda station was. So after a minute or two, I was trying to check her vitals and her eyes, and Gracie was trying to stand over me so to block the light from in the Garda station for the photosynthesis on the eyes of the baby because it was too bright on her. But we couldn't turn off the light either because it was pitch black. So her eyes, the baby's eyes were just rolling in her head, and she was having a temperature of 40. She was so limp, for a newborn. She had no grip in her. There was no give in her at all. And I just thought to myself, are we going to have to take her now ourselves, or are we going to have to keep her here until the ambulance came? And we knew that the ambulance was maybe 10 minutes out. We were so lucky, thank God. But every time the baby she would just, you'd know by her, the baby, it kind of felt like the baby had no fight in her.
Yes.
She just wanted to drift off, and it wasn't into a sleep, it was into an unconscious state. And I just knew I couldn't let her get to that stage. So while I had her in my arms all the time, I just kept, and I use this word loosely, I wasn't dropping her, but that sense of, when you have a baby in your arms and you're kind of playing with her and you kind of squat down, that feeling that she's falling, that gives that baby that kind of shock. That's the only thing that I could get her to keep her back in with me for such a long time. And it was just horrific. I'll never forget it, to be honest. It was horrible, because she's so small.
Yes. And that training you mentioned in Templemore is more or less aimed for an older person, you know what I mean? Not a tiny infant of 3 months old at all. Had you anyone on the phone, when you say you rang 999, had you anyone assisting you, and telling you what to do?
The lady on the 999 line from the ambulance service would not, and only for her, did not leave the phone. She stayed on the phone until physically a paramedic came into the room with us. So, I knew I had that backup there if things were going to go bad again, that she had stayed with me on the line. And she didn't ultimately have to say a whole pile, but it was just knowing that was my safety blanket. That was my comfort. Myself and Grace had to be that comfort for this lady that came in with her 6-year-old child and this baby. Yeah. And we, as I just say, we had to look like swans. So on top, we looked like we had it all going on, but underneath, we were panicked. It was we were really worried. It was a scary experience. So we knew that we didn't, so that lady that was on the, I don't even know what her name was, but like we knew that we had, that she was our comfort blanket as the comfort blanket we were for that mother, like.
Yes. So anyway, you did the wee compressions, you explained there, and we can see what you're talking about there, letting the baby as if she was going to, you know, the fun you can have with a child that's in the full of its health when you do that. But this was helping this little wee child stay with you. Baby girl, was it? Yeah?
Baby girl, yeah.
And what about 3 months old, you said, yeah?
3 months old, yeah.
So the emergency services then did arrive. You stayed put, you stayed there, you kept her going, and they took over from there. And you did mention something else. There was a little 6-year-old boy as well, and he had to be looked after. The mum had to be calmed, and at the same time, you had to, you know, work your socks off with this little baby. And my God, I want to say to yourself, Edel, and to Garda Grace Murray as well, you're a credit to the force, both of you, what you did and how you reacted and acted on the day. It saved that child's life. The upshot is that baby's fine now.
Yeah, lucky. Yeah, thank God there was a great outcome on that story, and it could have been a lot worse. Like it could have went either way for all of us. Like, and like we're just, with the grace of God, that, you know, we were just in the right place at the right time.
Yeah,
you know, and the mother decided that the Garda Station was the right place to go and look for help at the time. You know, and like I've just come from doing a school talk, and I've just said to the kids, like, the guards aren't always there to catch the baddies. Like, everybody has to remember the Garda Station is a place of safety, and it is a place that people are there to help others. But, you know, it's just lucky that she decided to come to the Garda Station that day and not wait, because the outcome could have been different if the mother didn't have quick knowledge to just say Garda Station and run up the street.
Yeah, but look, all's well, they say, that ends well. Has she been back? I know you've been in touch to know that the baby and everything is fine. Have you managed to talk to the mum or anything since?
Yeah, and she left us down, and myself and Grace, the lovely cars, and her other son had drawn us 2 lovely pictures of ourselves, which we've kept. And he has decided now that he would like to be a guard because of the actions that myself and Garda Gracie did. So yeah, so it's great. Like,
that's lovely, and lovely that she's been back and understands as well the crucial part you played in saving her daughter's life. It's a wonderful, wonderful story, and we're getting lovely messages there saying congratulations to, I'm just summarising them, they're coming in here too, that Garda and her colleague, well done, and they're a credit to the force. That's just a general sense of the messages coming to us today. You're heroes, Edel Dugdale and Grace Murray, you really are. Well done to you. Thank you for joining me to tell your story, and good luck to everybody, and we wish that baby and the family all the best too. Thank you, Edel.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care of yourself. Bye-bye. That's Garda Edel Dugdale there from Trim Garda Station, and her colleague Garda Grace Murray, who are absolutely brilliant. You're with Late Lunch on LMFM Radio.